When everything you know is wrong.
We are fighting the fake news.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Let's set some boundaries with a spoiled control freak. Is that why you're doing this? Well, then get your shit together. All your shit. So it's together.
In a few hours, she'll probably be sane enough to work herself into some sort of towering Jesus-based rage at the hazy recollection of being seduced by some kind of cruel Samoan.
I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans.
Who are these people? These faces? Where do they come from? They look like caricatures of used car dealers from Dallas. And sweet Jesus, there are a hell of a lot of them at 4:30 on a Sunday morning.
Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem. Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem. Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem.
Jesu Domine. Nick Vicious, confess your sins.
What in the fuck are you wearing?
What one of those shirts that the priests wear? But I'm not touching little boys. No touching of little boys around here. I am wearing the priest shirt.
I am for once speechless. I remember us joking about this bit.
Yeah. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go on to Amazon and see how quickly I can get one.
And then we get to start the show today. I come in, it's an empty chair, first off. You had to call your cell phone. You're not even in the building.
Yeah.
Just sit there with it. Just look. I'm looking at your empty chair at like quarter after. So I called you. And then you show up and you're wearing. We're going to get
official tab and everything. I mean, this thing is legit.
So Rob is legitimately a registered Dudist priest. So that is a true thing. He is ordained.
And ordained through the Universal Life Church of Modesto, California.
I believe
I am
that
twice ordained.
Let me ask you. I believe I've now been responsible for that. I was responsible for that too, wasn't I?
The Dudist part, yes, because we did that together.
And then the shirt. I didn't. I mean, I suggested it. I suppose.
Yeah. Said, wouldn't it be funny if?
I'm not gonna fucking confess to you. It's not. We're not. No. Go change.
Run that by me again, because all of a sudden,
you need to go
my
change.
connection went to shite.
You need to go change. See what happens when you piss off the Lord?
Yeah, apparently. Jeez.
You're okay.
Okay, fine.
Just go change.
Okay, just let us not get smited. Let us not.
I'll vamp for a minute while you're
no lightning bolts or anything.
Oh my God.
Just vamp.
We need this kind of this extra drama in our lives right now. Yeah. No, with the show we're about to do, with the things we're about to talk about, let's go ahead and start off blaspheming against the fucking Lord and see how much more shit we can get into. Don't worry, Rob. We're going to wait for you. I can't believe he turned his camera off. You know, it was good enough for me to sit and look at the empty chair, right? So why is it not good enough for everyone? Why do I have to be on camera by myself? The empty chair, put your earphones in. The empty chair was good enough for me. How come everybody else couldn't watch the empty chair? Come back.
You could have hit the button anytime you wanted to.
I know, but then I feel like I would be as bad as you are. With what we're about to talk about today, do you really think that blaspheming against the Lord is a smart move? I got to tell you.
Probably not, but the way I look at it, I did it anyways.
Jesus, he's got his own bleep now. Wow. This went off the rails quickly today.
Okay, you could blame the wife for this one.
Actually, I'm kind of jealous. I like it.
She
I'm
said
not-
she said something about saying the word and too much, so I decided
You've
I'll just do it.
you've literally got the word shit written behind you.
I know twice.
Great.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me do the don't overthink shit and get shit done.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
I
I'm
can't-
sorry.
The other shit is watched out. So I just
Yeah, because of the neon and the lights.
So what do we? How do we start? This is
Well, I
okay.
asked you if you wanted to confess. I mean,
No, I
all right.
do.
So okay, so not to make light of the issue. Let's be real about it here. You got hit with some really big life-changing, life-altering stuff since our last episode.
Yeah.
And you've been processing and dealing with it since.
Yeah.
And you kind of wanted to talk about it because there's a lot of other people out there that struggle with the same thing.
Yeah, and to be
So it's like Nick Vicious therapy.
well, that's where the idea of the father confessor bullshit came
Exactly.
from, to be completely honest. But I got hit with a diagnosis for diabetes, diabetes 2, which means that my body cannot process blood sugar correctly. And I was going through some things with my heart not beating correctly. And that's what led me to the doctor. And they did the blood test and so get this diagnosis back. And just looking at some of the possibilities of things that can happen from here on out, I'm only 41, is quite frankly fairly terrifying. I don't know how people get diagnosed with this and don't immediately change everything about their lives, which is pretty much my reaction to it at this point. Which is,
I think for a lot of people, it's willpower. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
really need to change everything. I can't do that.
I don't have it. I just don't feel like I have any choice.
Well, that's probably the healthy attitude to have.
I've been looking at the food that I've been eating, which, I had this image of who gets this disease as being like, I told this joke a bunch of times and nobody's laughed, but that's okay. It's like the 60-year-old 400-pound Meemaw in her scooter, drinking. Yeah, right. I never got to the moo but that's good. That's a good. See,
that would have gotten people to laugh.
Yeah, the moo
everybody loves moo.
Everybody loves a good moo. Anyway, drinking the 24 pack of Pepsi. That's who I thought got this disease, right? Well, it's not that. There's a genetic portion to it. There is stress and anxiety play a factor.
Which you struggle. You suffer from the anxiety part. Woo! And the stress part.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm learning not to live like that anymore. I just. It was part of, I guess, a defense mechanism growing up and just how I related to the world around me for a long time. And
that was also part of how you were forced to relate to the world around you for a few years too.
Right. I, in the grand scheme of making good choices to control my own stress and anxiety and things like that, I dare say the proof is in the pudding that I wasn't all that successful with it.
But you tried.
I think in a lot of ways it's going to work out to be okay because these are things that can no longer be ignored if I want to live to be an old man. And that's still pretty much the plan, right? And if you go and you look at all of the things that you increase your risk for with something like this, stroke, heart attack, dementia, you could lose your fucking eyes or your feet. To have the doctor that diagnosed this tell me the next time I come in, he wants to see my feet. That brings this shit home, man.
Whoa. He wants to see your feet the next time he sees you? Are you sure he just doesn't have a foot fetish?
Reasonably sure. They want to make sure that
Are you sure? Did you see a doctor in San Francisco?
I did, yes. I'm just saying you can lose your feet as part of having diabetes. Lose your leg.
Actually, my high school band director lost several toes because of diabetes, and eventually his life. But
right, so we don't want to go down that route. We want to control it
alive.
with as long as possible.
With all your digits.
Yeah, with all my digits and I want to be able to remember who I am to the day that I die and things like that. And I'm going to do what the doctor says, and we're going to change the lifestyle. That's all. That's the trick. And what I was going to say is, you look at the things that you increase the risk for with a diagnosis like this, and then you go and you look at the ways to decrease the risk for those same things. And invariably, the procedure is pretty much the same to handle all of the things. It's diet and exercise and lifestyle and stress, and the more you control those things,
mental health and physical health
and spiritual health, really. I mean, the whole package.
Oh, that's why you wanted me to change out of the shirt. You're working on the spiritual health too. Got it. Okay.
No, not like
you can only take so much blasphemy in a week. Okay. Right. We already hit the quota.
Yeah, let's not tempt fate any further than we already have. It's hard to look at the numbers that came back as part of this and not just think that there was some damage done. There was. That's what the numbers are saying.
And the numbers don't lie.
My kidneys are fine. My, all the organs seem to be working right, but my system just won't tolerate the sugar any longer. And so, I'm glad to say that now that I'm measuring and testing these things on a regular basis, the blood pressure and stuff is kind of normalized. So all that's really good. And the blood sugar is coming down. It's going to take some time before this problem is under control, but
all right, hit me real quick. Before your diagnosis, what would be an average dinner? And then tell me what your average dinner has been since the diagnosis.
Oh,
just to get a feel for how different things are.
It was always very carb heavy. So, it would be a giant plate of some sort of red meat and a giant plate of carbs. I mean, I'm saying I was pretty good at killing 5 potatoes at a sitting, and, bread and all this other stuff, and do it at night and then sleep it off like a normal person would do. And
so a lot of carbs and protein, and by a lot, we mean a lot because of portions.
Right, because
you were cooking too much for one person.
Correct, and eating too much for one person because I wasn't eating regularly throughout the day. So I was really good at that being the one meal I would have all day would be that meal that was filled with carbs. And so you are doing a lot of bad things when you eat like that. And did I know that it was as unhealthy as it turned out to be? I really didn't. It's not like I was stuffing my face with pizza 5 nights a week. I wasn't eating fast food all the time. As a 40-year-old man, I felt that my diet was fairly reasonable. And I was clearly wrong. Not just on the diet level, but the timing of the meals and how late I would eat, and then there's a genetic portion of it. I remember my mom telling stories about my grandfather.
Man, how what is it with y'all in genetics? Y'all in genetics, I swear to God.
I don't know.
You and the wife both. Your genetics are just whacked.
Well, I don't know what to say. I can't defend my genetics. I had nothing to do with it. I'm just here. Anyway,
I didn't ask for my genetics.
Right.
Exactly. I didn't consent to those.
Nobody asked me how this was supposed to happen. Anyway, my granddad, she would feed him candy as he was driving because he was a diabetic. And I think that's a different kind of diabetes. I think that's type
probably
1.
Type 1. The diabetes.
The diabetes. So this has been like super life-changing because it has to be. That's the only way I can sleep at night without thinking that I'm going to have a heart attack or a stroke I'm in a Facebook group on diabetes now, of course. And so that's interesting because there's a lot of free exchange of like people's actual experiences while they're battling this disease.
Oh, that's good. You found a group. That's good.
And well, I'll just tell you something tonight. Somebody posted up a glucose reading from their meter and was like, this is super high. And in the thread, people were like, yeah, you should probably be headed to the emergency room with a blood sugar that high. I know what the blood result that I got said my current blood sugar was when all of this started. And it wasn't much fucking lower than the number that dude was told to go to the ER with. It was a little
you
lower.
going to the doctor was a good thing when you thought you were having heart issues.
Yeah, the sugar in your bloodstream can interrupt the electrical signals that the heart gets. And what was happening is I was getting what they call an extra heartbeat. It was happening a lot. And then, of course, once that started happening, the anxiety started feeding back into that. And then you could sort of make that happen with the anxiety. It was fucking messy, bro. It was messy as shit. That's a fact. I ignored this and I ignored taking care of myself in a way that I had always had access to. It's not like I didn't ever not have insurance.
Yeah, but I mean, we hate doctors. We hate doctors. I don't hate them per se. I just don't like going to them unless I really, really have to. Because my thing is, I'm going to be stuck in a lobby with people who are actually sick, and I'm going to end up catching something.
It's not even that for me. A doctor is the only mechanic that you'll go to that will fuck you for life.
Yeah.
Right. And in a way, that's exactly what happened here, but it's not the doctor's fault, right? Like,
but he was gentle and used some lube, though.
Yeah,
he didn't just spit on that thing
because he wants me to come back.
Yeah, he's got to milk your insurance company for all he can.
Well, they got me for life at this point because I'm always going to need to manage this disease, and the hope is that I get to be one of the people that can reverse the symptoms and take this disease and put it into remission with good habits and good diet. And once it's in, you get to be in remission when you can stop taking the medication. And for a period of like 3 months, 6 months, whatever, your blood sugar stays in the range that it's supposed to be in. By the way, if you've got a blood meter that's between a glucose reading of 70 to 100, you get to have a little spike in the morning because your body tries to wake you up by filling you with a little bit more of that blood sugar. It's about 130 is normal when you're waking. You really want it to be down by like 110. And let's just say I've been flirting with some of those lower numbers since we've started working on this. And my hope is that means that that my body's not completely shot over all of this, right?
And your high blood pressure has been going down, down towards normal, so that's good.
And it's spooky as shit to know that because I have a blood pressure cuff that sits in the bathroom now, and we check and log this information so that when I go back to the doctor, in the next month or whenever, that we've got some more data for him to look at and go, okay, well, this is kind of where you're trending. We need to do this now. Let's wait the med, whatever he's going to do, so that we have that information. What may end up happening here is this thing called it's called a CGM. It's a continuous glucose meter. And it's
one of those little things that you wear. Yeah.
Thing you wear under your arm, and it ties into an app, and I think you change the thing every 2 weeks or whatever. Some people are allergic to them, but anyway, what it does is exactly what it says it does. It continuously monitors your blood sugar level. And because things go up and down as you eat and as your day goes on, and basically the more information that you can have, the easier it is to get that pattern nailed for you to get this under control. And then I think the idea is that as long as I haven't damaged any nerves, which doesn't seem to be the case, all the rest of this can be reversed. The damage can be reversed with healthy lifestyle and exercise and healthy diet and lowering all the things we've talked about that are the same ways that you manage the diabetes. Most of the damage that is done to the body can be reversed. There are some things with plaque building up on the inside of the arteries that I'm not sure how that exactly gets reversed, but it's the same idea. If you have been pushing that system really hard, even if you can't reverse all the damage, you can definitely idle up, and not run the system quite so hard anymore. Yeah. And it's kind of spooky what can happen, and knowing what has happened, with the blood sugar being so high, it goes in and it damages all your arterial walls. And so they collect cholesterol and plaque, and they get fucking gunky. And that's how people with diabetes end up having strokes and heart attacks. And based on the fucking testing that we did, those are all things that I'm barreling towards unless this changes today. And it has. It is as under control now as I can make it. And it's, my level of control, it gets better with time. We're just starting this journey. Oh, sorry. But I've got some good cookbooks on the way, and I'm pretty well dedicated to shopping correctly for this. If this is one area of my life that I can, afford to spend a little more money on, then that's what I should do, because it'll help keep me alive.
and right now, while you're consciously having to think about it and having to force yourself to make the right decisions, over time, it's just going to become second nature, and you won't even think about it.
That's the idea. Is that you just use this as a catalyst to do the right things, and to know what they are. And that was my biggest failing, is not that I just didn't see the harm that I was doing. But
you felt it. You were feeling the harm that you were doing.
I guess. I don't know. I never felt bad. No, that's not true. Other than my heart tripping out, I would not have known that there was a problem at all. But once you start taking this medication, this stuff called metformin, one of the things that happened to me is, clearly I wear glasses. So my vision is already being corrected, and it's been like that for a long time. So there's nothing super unusual about that. I wore glasses in my 20s. The medication that I'm on left me almost blinded for 2 weeks.
That is crazy.
I could not see I could not read anything on my phone. I couldn't read my laptop screen.
Unless you went all Mr. Magoo on it.
Right. Right. I had to make the screen 400%. Yeah, exactly. And then we had enough recognition to get done the things we needed to get done. And so what that seems to be, my understanding of it, is that when you have diabetes and high blood sugar, the tissue in the eyes builds up fluid in them. And when you correct this issue, that is now changing, and that's why your vision gets all fucked up. But to the degree that it happened to me is just even more proof that we were not in good shape.
So if that had continued unchecked, is that where it leads to wet AMD, that thing I see commercials for? Because I've been trying to figure out what the heck is wet AMD.
No,
macular degeneration. What is this?
I don't know. I know that it leads to neuropathy, I think is what it's called. Your eyes they don't get enough blood because the You know,
Look, so long as it doesn't lead to peyronie's, you're okay.
I don't know. I don't know enough about that. I don't know if Peyronie's a thing. I don't know
Yes.
what that is.
Peyronie's disease is a thing.
Okay. Well, I don't know what that is. So
it's a bent,
I'd like
broken
to.
dick.
I'd like. Oh, okay. No, my dick works fine. Thank you. That could have been a side effect of the medication. I'm just saying. This thing, it still works. Holler at your boy. No, just fucking. Please don't. Yeah, that's what everybody wants. Is a fat.
Hey,
if
you're in your 20s and you're a total twink.
No,
hit
let's
McFish's
move
up.
on. No way. Not a fucking chance. Go put your shirt on and go put your shirt on. Go away. Get off my
shirt
get
on.
off. No, not you. I'm talking about the twink that you just
Oh,
imagined.
okay.
Go put your shirt on. Go back to fucking class and leave me the fuck alone. I do not want to be called daddy, and I don't want you in my apartment. Stay away from me. And please, for the good of all that is holy, wash the fucking axe off of your body. Ew.
Oh, really? That's still a thing?
I don't know. I don't really know any 20-year-olds. I'm guessing.
You know,
that could have been a swing and a miss. I don't know.
I was at the bank the other day getting a cashier's check for property taxes, and
holy shit! Did you take your Geritol?
Yeah, no, I skipped it that day.
Oh, I had to go to the bank. Back in my day.
I actually had to drive to a branch. It was weird.
Oh, they had this thing called a teller. You could talk to a real person and they'd write a check for you. Sure, Granddad.
Yeah.
There's people that used to write checks for you, Granddad. Sure, no problem.
Yeah, but she was a total trip, and we were talking about just how kids these days are just terrible. And
dude, I don't know if you've noticed, everyone these days is just
a little bit, pretty much terrible, but
just terrible.
But we were talking like, if we were to be forcefully reintroduced into the dating scene, how fucked we would both be. Oh, I'm sorry, how we would be. Because I'm thinking, how does this even work?
Don't ask me. I have no idea. I don't date. I don't like anyone. They don't like me. That's just how it's going for now. That's the one thing the diabetes should like, if there's a silver lining to any of this, it's that I'm going to be forced to lose another 50 pounds here before I'm satisfied with my body weight. And then I'm going to look dead sexy, so yeah, that'll be a nice, I may go early, but damn it, I'm going to leave a beautiful corpse. And that's all.
There you go. Yeah.
That's all that really matters. Oh my God.
I'm going to go, but I'm going to look hot when I do.
What a goddamn disaster this is. I mean, Jesus criminy. Like, I understand that I brought some of this on myself, but there's also this genetic bullseye that I was wearing. And if there's anything that's like, I know we're kind of Debbie Downer, but the truth is that that's not how I personally feel. I've been pretty positive about all of this, that it's like all of these changes needed to happen anyway. So we're just going to do the work. Not have to do it. It's going to keep me honest about it. It's not like I had intended to eat like fucking garbage. But again, I was eating real food, I cooked and I bought real food, and we weren't eating out all the time, and it wasn't a bunch of processed garbage. And this happened. It can happen to you. You need to and I'm talking to the audience now, like, you got to go get your shit checked, because this can happen to you. If you can catch it at pre-diabetic levels, you don't have to worry about the shit that I'm going to worry about. There is no cure as of right now. However, the Chinese, just in the last couple of weeks, they were able to use stem cells to reverse type 1 diabetes in someone.
Hey, all right.
And get their body to produce insulin correctly again. So I kind of hope that there's going to be some breakthrough for people like me in my lifetime. I think that's a nice hope to hold on to. If not, it's just about how tightly controlled does my diet need to be? Is it something like for the rest of my life, I have to eat this certain things and then go walk for half an hour after I eat? Is that every
Well,
meal?
the dog will love that.
Oh, God. The dog drags me all over hell and gone. She's got more energy than I do. She almost
She's
killed me
far
the other
older.
day. Well, and I, living in San Francisco, there's like lots of good places to walk. And so we ended up on Buchanan Street the other day. And it's one of those streets that's literally like so high up there that the sidewalk has a staircase cut into it. It's not just a flat sidewalk.
Nope.
Fucking bitch drug me straight up the goddamn hillside. And I'm like, glad you're happy. I need to breathe for a second. And I mean, and we can go do those hills. Like it works and it's not, doesn't kill me or anything, clearly. So I'm just kind of at, well, I ain't dead yet, bitch. Maybe
as hard as
someday.
we try.
Yeah, maybe someday, but not today.
Not today, muff.
Oh, you got the beep right. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I am now emotionally exhausted from telling the story. Do we have anything else to talk about, or can we call it a show? What do you think?
I mean, we could always talk about other stuff. I mean,
I do not want to talk about the hawk. Do not bring the hawk to a bitch up.
I wasn't going to do that.
I see it over on the video deck. Don't.
Well, yeah, because I had that stuff prepared just in case.
Several hawk to a video.
Well, okay. I'm just going to roll this real quick. The days of this are over for you, my friend. Yeah, you can't have that no more.
What is this beautiful thing you just showed us?
Apparently,
wow,
popcorn and candy meat.
Oh, candy.
And the thing is, like, it didn't look visually appealing at first.
But tastes awesome.
Yeah, I bet you it tastes amazing.
Oh, man.
Like, you can't have that, and I can't have that because I know I would just end up vomiting immediately afterwards.
Yeah, you've got your own challenges. Why don't you tell about your freaking fatty liver and the journey you've been on?
Oh yeah, so stress.
I'm like dragging out what I'm trying to say because I don't want to violate some HIPAA law and fucking reveal you didn't want revealed.
Stress, bad decisions, lots of stress led to a lot of weight gain that I really did not like, and it really freaking sucked, and it pissed me off. But this year, 2024, the wife decided we're going to try the fad thing, which everybody was like doing the Ozempic stuff to lose weight and everything. And so we started that. And let's see, since I started that, I think in March or April, beginning of April, I have basically lost 87 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't gonna say, and I never said this to your face, but the last time I was out.
Oh yeah, you said it on the phone. You've said it a couple times on the phone.
Can I say it on the show? Is it bad if I say it? I don't want to.
No, you can say it. Okay. You can say it. I mean,
being honest,
it's true. I mean,
we're being honest with each other.
Yeah.
The last time I was out in Texas, Christmas 2 years ago,
was not looking good.
No, you looked. I'm glad that you took care of it. Or are on the road of addressing, because you just didn't look. And it wasn't even that you didn't look good; it was that you didn't look happy.
Oh yeah,
you looked very
straight miserable
inside your own skin, and there's a lot of parallels to what I'm going through.
I mean, I was diagnosed with non-alcoholic. Now, mind you, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which, if gone unchecked, that would have led to cirrhosis of the liver. I didn't even earn it the old-fashioned way.
That sounds like the most boring way to get liver problems.
Yes, being constantly stressed out and just suffering from anxiety and just being miserable because there's a miserable man in San Francisco driving you crazy. I
And
mean,
he's not talking about me, by the way.
no, it's the savage effect. That's what we call it, the savage effect.
You know, I saw that his assistant
Started a new job.
with him again.
Yeah,
Savage
they keep going
Enterprises.
back.
Speaking of dude who's gonna need to have his liver checked at some point. Fuck. I
I don't
couldn't
know how he's still alive because he's within close proximity.
I don't know, man. Money. Nobody knows what the hell we're talking about right now. This is so
That's fine.
inside baseball, but
yeah.
whatever. It's I'm not even going to explain. Let's move on. I don't want to get sued.
Yeah. So, anyways, started the it's not Ozempic by name. It's the semaglutide. It's a compound that you shoot yourself every week with. And
now, are you worried about going blind on that stuff?
No. And I saw that study came out this week saying that it's linked to blindness. Funny thing is, I just had my eyes checked a couple of months ago, and amazingly enough, they said that my eyes had actually one eye had actually improved.
Wow.
So,
well, because
no, I'm not really worried about going blind.
Okay. How long you're not going to be on it forever either, right?
No, I mean, because honestly, I wouldn't want to be on it forever, but at the same time, I mean, the thing about it is that it's a great. I kept telling myself, all I need is something like just a jump start to get on the weight loss path and everything, because that's the hardest part for anybody. It's just getting started with it. Well, that jump start came, and since then it's just been, oh, hey, I shouldn't eat this. I shouldn't drink that. I shouldn't do this, because the effects that I feel afterwards, not good. The nausea and throwing up and everything, just, it's not pleasant. So why even put myself through it? And Dr. Peppers have become like a thing of the past, I think.
Well, I was teasing you about that a while back. I didn't realize it was part and parcel to all of this, but I remember asking you, about the Dr. Peppers, because you were a very heavy Dr. Pepper consumer. You should have gotten the diabetes, goddammit. You were the one drinking the Dr. Peppers.
I was headed there. I
know. I know.
But I didn't have the genetics for it. Ha.
I know. Yeah. Fucking, like, I never got anything good from any part of my family, right? Clearly, just the genetics are trash. The growing up was chaos. The stress,
the broken relationships, the broken promises.
Fucking Christ almighty, man. I just never got anything good from the whole situation. So
the shit show family.
I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up over this diagnosis. I don't think that's the right move. And despite the fact that this is definitely something that could have killed me, it didn't. I didn't end up in the hospital. I never ended, I didn't I didn't have a coma. I didn't wake up on the floor and crash my truck. Never had to go to the ER. The heart's fucking kind of doing what it should be doing again. Finally, I can see, as far as the fallout from this, it's hopefully just going to be a turn into good health. And I think that's all you can really do, right? Is just embrace the suck, because it's the new normal. And if you do that, it may not suck quite as much, and you can get something good out of it. And
yeah, that's the whole thing for me, has been like, since it has altered the way that I think about everything, I don't miss certain things like you would think I would. Like the Dr. Peppers, I can have one of the ones made with pure cane sugar. I can have one of those every now and then. By every now and then, I mean like maybe one a week at best, but I don't go and buy them. So, because I just kind of bypass that aisle in the grocery store. I don't even think about it. So, same thing with a lot of different foods. I was like you, a big carbohydrate guy, protein, beef, pastas, you give it to me, I'm good to
Right.
go, and not so much anymore. I can do it in small little doses, but if I like you, I tend to overeat, and it ends bad. The night ends bad with that. So
Yeah.
and I know that a lot of people are dogging the Ozempic stuff. I don't understand why. I think that 2023, all of the Hollywood celebs and all the elites were doing and saying, "Oh, this is great." 2024, it's, "Oh, this is bad."
I don't
Okay.
know. I mean, if it makes you feel better and it gets you more out of life, more than what you want out of life, who cares what everybody else thinks?
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean,
Yeah.
and the thing, okay, now I will say the weekly injection part really kind of sucks, especially seeing as I can't do it myself.
Yeah, I'm not
So
I'm
if I
not
had to inject myself, it wouldn't happen.
I'm not particularly enjoying the
Finger sticks.
yeah.
How many of them are you doing a day?
A bunch, at least 2 every day, but it can be more like 4 or 5, depending on what I want to look at any given time, trying to understand, okay, I was this when I woke up and then I ate and then 2 hours later I was this. You got to kind of develop the data to figure out what's happening with the things that you do. But I will say that it's not nearly as fucked up as I thought it was going to be. They give you this, it's called a lancet, and it goes into this little thing that you fucking load, and it's like a spring loaded thing. And then you twist the top and it determines how deep the lancet goes. And I mean, it is like a 2 to 6 or 0 to 6. And like on a 2, you can't even feel it in certain fingers. And you just, as you do it, you get to know which finger is a little more sensitive to the lancet, and so you don't hit it as deep. And once it's over, it doesn't, I mean, it's as painless as it can get, for the most part. You definitely you feel it, but it's not overwhelming. And, I don't feel like my fingers look like I've been jabbing them with a fucking needle for the last 2 weeks now. But having to do this stuff is it's surreal, man. This is
I think if I had the Ozempic pin, like the pin style, where it's just an itty little needle that you just kind of throw in there and just push the button and it takes care of the rest, I think I could do that. But I actually get like an actual syringe. And
Ew.
I could go too deep. I could go not deep enough.
I don't know that I could do that to myself either. That's
yeah. So I have the wife do it.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, hey, think about it, babe. Every week you get to stab me.
That's
If
when
I
you
pissed
find
you
out-
off,
That's when you find out who your friends and family really are.
exactly. Yeah. And
Oh, boy.
funny thing is, like, if she thinks every week, like, she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I'm like, I didn't feel anything. What? It's all good. She's like, "No, it's just," I'm like, "It's okay."
So it's hell. It's hell getting older. But the thing is that
it ain't for pussies. That's for sure.
I feel like I'm not unique here.
No, we're far from it.
Yeah, this is just stuff that happens to people, and so anyway.
Which, I mean, hopefully us talking about it, on here. I mean, yes, it's not like us making fun of Hawk Tuah Girl or Jack Doherty or somebody else.
No, this is real.
I mean, it's real talk. It's real life. I mean, this is something that a lot of people deal with. So hey,
this meets our mission, which is to reflect real life back at the audience. This just happens to be kind of shitty.
It's the suck. This is the suck.
This is the suck, and we'll get back to laughing and making jokes about things shortly. But we felt like we should talk about this because we've been talking about it amongst ourselves for quite some time now.
Weeks. I mean, since the last episode, that's right after the last episode is when you got the diagnosis.
Yeah,
and that's when, like, you were really struggling and you were really down. And
I got kicked in the fucking nuts is what happened.
And once you got on the medication, once we were talking about getting together earlier and you're like, nah, I'm having side effects. I don't feel comfortable. Like, okay, that's cool. You know,
Well, I couldn't see.
you need, you needed the adjustment.
I'd be like,
You know.
Rob, where are you?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to see. I wouldn't have been able to see you, but it wouldn't be because you were showing me an empty chair. I just wouldn't have been able to see you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
You can't see me. So, okay.
Did you just do the John Cena thing?
Yes, you can't see me.
Jesus Christ.
So,
Where'd he go?
I have a holiday PSA for you. A study by Feet Finder revealed that a 234% surge in Google searches for penile fracture occurs over the frisky festive season. Apparently, last year, researchers studied 3,421 German men and found that chances of sustaining the painful penile injury, especially among those in middle age, rose significantly between December 24th and December 26th. So so this is the PSA. People, if you are having sex over Christmas, do it right. Know what you're doing. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, if she's breaking your dick, you're doing it wrong.
You can just do that on your own.
I'm just saying, if she's
Rob
breaking
Rod,
your
ladies
dick,
and gentlemen, he knows how to transition.
and Nick Vicious, I mean, does this play for the gay community too? If he's breaking your dick, he's doing it wrong. You're a top, right? You can tell me.
I have nothing to fucking offer here. I am not engaging in this conversation.
Yes,
Rob
I got you now.
Rob
I got
Rod,
you, sucker.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And with that, that's our show.
Yeah.
Holy shit, we could have ended this 2 minutes ago and not had all.
You got to end it with something good. And that's the PSA. I mean, hey, it's the holiday season. Merry Christmas.
Man,
Don't break your dick.
You're a fucking mess.